There's something you need to address! Guys, I'm so funny! Oh! They did it! And they did it in KK style! That shit was dope! What did he just do? Oh my god! This guy, I mean, that was basic. Damn. JJK Season 3 hit different. That was a good ass season right there. I know it gets a lot of flack because it's like only aura and hype moments according to people, but that, like, you can't deny when those aura and hype moments come on, you are like, you feel that shit in your soul, and you're gonna remember that shit for the rest of your life. And I'm not just gonna praise that. I'll track back and like criticize that aspect of it later, because first of all, I just want to give my opinions on some of the best and worst moments of this season, because there was a lot of highs and not too many lows. I think this was the second best season of JJK. Season 2 being the first best, because I mean, it's really gonna be hard to top Hidden Inventory and the Shibuya incident, but I think it did better than what Season 1 had going on for sure. Season 3 is right in the middle section. The best episode, in my opinion, was the Sendai Colony. Like, I know it's like the top 2 is the Zenin Clan Massacre and then Sendai, but I think Sendai was much better than the Massacre, okay? I'm gonna be honest, I was not, like, super hyped up about the Massacre. Like, when Maki was going around killing people, I thought it was cool, but I thought there were some lacking aspects, and there were some certain moments that I felt like could have been, I say certain moments. It was one moment that I felt like could have been adapted better, and that was the Toji Maki comparison. When Toji kind of just like zooms up when Maki is awakened, I'm kind of just like, ooh, you know what I mean? Or I don't know if she was awakened right there, but when she kind of turns into Toji for that second, I wish they would have done the 1-to-1 comparison to the manga where they split it in half and they do the same pose rather than Toji kind of just like blossoming out of Maki, because you could barely even, when I first watched it, I didn't even know that was him at first, you know? Obviously, I knew it was him, but like, I could barely tell, and I wouldn't have known if I hadn't read the manga beforehand. Don't get it twisted, Maki's episode was great. I still think it's top 2 or top 3, but top 1 has to go to Yuta's episode. No matter how much I like to slander him and call him a bum, which is like predominantly a joke, sometimes it's not, but I like calling him a bum. It's really fun. It's fun to call him a bum, but like, no matter how much I call him that, I cannot take away that he like, in my opinion, he had the best episode this season. There were so many moments where I was jumping out of my seat and like just like excited, even though like I said, I had already read the manga. Like, I knew both parts were going to happen, but there was something about the Sendai Colony where I was just like, I was amazed by what I was seeing. The main aspect that sets these two episodes apart is Yuta's episode was good throughout the entirety of it playing. Like, the whole 28 minutes was worth watching. On Maki's episode, when Mai dies, which is where the criticism that I'm backtracking on comes from earlier. When Mai dies, I just didn't care, and it felt really slow. See, here's the problem with JJK. It's good with hype moments. It's good with aura, and I think it has a good story. But where it lacks, and has always lacked, is with the emotional beats. When an emotional moment happens, you really do not feel jack shit. You know, it really does not feel, like, nothing happens inside of me where I'm like, damn. And I don't think it has to do with screen time. I think it just has to do with how these characters are built. Like, Mai, we don't really know a whole lot about Mai, so it feels like an emotional moment, but it doesn't, like, feel like an emotional moment. Like, it feels like it's supposed to be an emotional moment, but you don't feel anything inside of you because you really don't give a shit about Mai. I mean, half the people that watched the episode probably forgot she even existed before they brought her back for this. So when you spend some time killing off a character that you don't really care about, it kind of just drags down the pacing of the episode. And it's not because of screen time, like I said, because you think back to episode 4 of Full Metal Alchemist. You know, Shao Tucker's daughter, she's there for literally one episode, but you feel more, she had more impact being in that, less than 25-minute episode than Mai did, despite her being around for a lot longer and being kind of a little bit more of a character than Shao Tucker's daughter, who I low-key forgot her name, but that doesn't take away from the emotional impact that she had. Now, while the Sendai Colony was the best episode, the worst episode has to be the third episode, where they're just explaining the rules of the Culling games. It wasn't a bad episode, but when you look at every episode, I'm saying episode a lot, when you look at everything throughout the season, this one felt the least impactful because they're just explaining the rules. They did it in a really creative way to keep you engaged in the show, in the episode, and what was going on. I thought they did that fantastically, but unfortunately, it's just a rule explanation. So in the grand scheme of things, and when you look at the entire season, this one has to fall last. So I mean, I'm glad they did that though. It made that ranking a lot easier on my heart because I didn't need to like really dive into choose. Like, it's just like, dude, I mean, they're explaining the rules. They did it in a creative way, and it wasn't a bad episode. They made a rule explanation episode really entertaining. But unfortunately, I mean, you look at everything else, it's got fights and good backstory. You're not going to look past that. More than half the season was just full of fight scenes. You think a rule explanation episode is just going to go over that? I see people online talk about, this, of course, the rule explanation episode is rated a 7.7. It's rated the lowest. No wonder why people say JJK is just aura moments and hype moments. Like, dude, no shit, it's going to be the lowest rated. They're explaining the fucking rules. You think it's going to be highly rated over Yuji versus Higuruma, as much as I don't like that fight? Or is it's going to be rated over Chozo versus Naoya? Like, no, bro. Everything else is cool ass fight scenes. You think a rule explanation episodes where they're just giving me terms and conditions is gonna be highly rated? What kind of stupid ass comparison is that? And not only that, it was like rated a 7.7, which is pretty damn good for an episode that's just explaining rules to me. So I don't know why people complain. I'm sorry, that got me heated for a second. I don't know, when people say stupid shit like that, it gets annoying because it's like, what did you expect? You think they're gonna give a 10 to rules? Despite all that, though, past the obvious emotional beats that are missed throughout JJK, you can't deny the fights and the storyline. Those are really, really worth watching, especially in this season with all the different fights that was going on. Everyone kind of splitting apart and fighting their own people with Megami and Yuji, and then we see at the end Yuta, like all these different people. And I'm excited for the next season where we get even more people fighting, which is, some of my favorite fights are coming up, which I'll mention later. Because first of all, I just want to talk about each specific fight and kind of rank them a little bit, because I'm not gonna lie, there were some fights I really liked that a lot of people liked, and then there was fights that I really wasn't feeling, but for some reason a lot of people love. And specifically speaking, this is the Yuji versus Higuruma fight. I really don't can somebody please tell me why people love that fight so much? Because even when I read the manga, I wasn't feeling it. And then after, I'm watching anime, and I'm still not feeling it. But people are ranking this fight like it's like top 10 fights of JJK. It's so good. I really don't understand the appeal of it. It's really not that good. Is it because Yuji gives himself up and admits to a crime that he didn't commit? Because there wasn't that much action. It wasn't that invigorating. And the fight at the end, the conclusion wasn't all that crazy compared to all the other fights. So why is this fight so, so praised? I don't understand how this Yuji versus Higuruma fight is so appraised. It was kind of mid. And I'm not talking the animation or the characters. I'm just saying the fight itself. It's just mid. I don't understand why people love that fight so much. It's really not that good, and it's not that entertaining. So can somebody please explain the appeal to this fight? Because I just don't see it. There's so many fights throughout JJK that are so much better. But for some reason, this particular fight is like a fan favorite, and I don't understand. Is it because it's Higuruma and he's a fan favorite character? Or is it the fight itself that there's something there that I'm missing that I just can't wrap my head around? Somebody please explain it to me, because I don't understand the appeal of this fight and why it's so critically acclaimed or whatever. Like, if I'm being honest, I'd rank it last on the season. I liked Kirara's fight better. I think I said her name right. I like the Panda vs Yuji one better. I like every other fight in the entire season more than I like this Yuji Higuruma fight. I don't understand the appeal of this fight. It was cool, but it was nothing more than that. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm spending too much time on this one little area, but I see how much praise this fight gets, and I don't understand why, because every other fight that happens, not only in this season, but even after the fact, is better than this one. Before I wrap up, I just want to mention one last thing, and that's the intro. The intro, like the opening theme, is definitely my favorite theme that's been in JJK so far. I think this is my favorite one. I love Aizo because I think throughout the entire song, it's kind of just really, really good and like fun to listen to. But I will say the opening like animation is not it. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's the weakest one. I've never been a fan of when they just like flash characters around and stuff. That was always weak to me. Like I get it. It's the Culling games. You know, it's like a game show in my opinion. So you're just gonna flash the characters. You get to see all the contestants. But I'm gonna be honest. That shit's weak. Okay. You look at all the other openings throughout Jujutsu Kaisen. They're all got some crazy cool animation like with hidden inventory when Gato kind of just flicks a black hole or some shit and then dives into it, or when they're going down the like that shit is so hard. And then we look at this one, they're not really doing a whole lot. Like they have some cool moments here and there, but a lot of it is just flashing characters. But the song itself and the moments in the animation, like opening animation that are there, are definitely peak. And the song itself, as like I said, it's my favorite one so far. And then on the outer hand, we look at the outro. I mean, it's kind of, I don't think I listened to it once. I think I skipped it every single time, which is like not something that happens often. Usually I, play the outro. I kind of just sit back and let it go. But this time I just skipped that bitch. Especially like when I look back to season 1. The season 1 outro was fire as hell. And then I look at this one. This was ass. I think I skipped it every single time. I don't think I ever paid attention to that shit. Plus I was also just really excited, to see what was going on in the next episode. That's another thing about JJK that I really love is like it's a very linear story. Like the episodes don't wrap up. It just leads into the next one. So when an episode ends, I'm kind of like pissed off because I'm like, I need to see more of this. Like they need to just release this shit in like a 2-hour format so I can just sit back. So when an episode ends, I get really hyped and kind of skip to the end. But even then, even if I wasn't hyped at the end of the episode, I'd probably still skip that shit. But yeah, that's one thing about JJK I really love too, is like when an episode ends, it really does, like it leaves me wanting more. So that's all I have to say. Let me wrap this up now. JJK Season 3 has got to be like a 9 or 9.5 out of 10. Fantastic season. It was great all around. I don't think there was a single bad episode. Most of the episodes are teetering towards amazing in my opinion. I thought they were all fantastic. Like I said, the only thing that it misses is emotional beats, but who cares? I mean, I care a little bit, but like it's fine. Like I can live without it. I don't need to cry at everything I see. It was a great season by far. I'm so excited for the next one. The little things that they showed us at the end of Sendai Colony with Suka in his hand form, and then Kashimo's little thing, and then Hikari talking to that one guy on the Ferris wheel, that has me super hype for season 4. I can't wait for that to drop. That's all I have to say. I mean, I think all the characters got an upscale, and I'm excited to see what they go in the future. Am I right, Megami? I bet you're going to go super crazy in Season 4, and then in the future after that. Am I right, guys? I'm going to see you guys later. Hopefully Season 4 does just as good as this one, if not better. That's all I got to say. Subscribe. See ya. Bye. I'm at bye-bye.